Employment. Thank you. ACCESS Employment is a non-profit organization with more than 30 years of experience and offers comprehensive employment services to job seekers in the Greater Toronto area. Our goal is help individuals overcome employment barriers and find work that aligns with their skills and aspirations. Our organization offers a wide range of services, including job search support, resume and cover letter writing, interview preparation, job matching, and more. We also have specialized services for specific groups, such as newcomers to Canada, those with language barriers, etc. ACCESS Employment is well known for organizing job fair series, where we bring together job seekers and employments for a day of networking, information sharing, and job matching. These events provide job seekers with the opportunity to meet potential employers, learn about job opportunities, and build their professional network. In addition to the job fair series, our organization also offers workshop information session on important job search topics such as resume writing, interview preparation, job search strategies, etc. These sessions are led by experienced employment specialists and are designed to provide job seekers with the skills and knowledge they need to success in their job search. ACCESS Employment also offers bridging programs for newcomers to Canada and IBM courses platform for online learning, approximately 7,000 courses. Our organization is dedicated to helping job seekers achieve their employment goals, and our team of professionals is always available to provide you support and guidance. Whether you are a newcomer, a recent graduate, or looking for a career change, ACCESS Employment is here to help you succeed in the job search. So this is a short introduction of ACCESS, and we will be able to answer more your questions in the Q&A session. And now I'm giving the lead to Philip and his colleague Tasneem to introduce amazing opportunities from their company.
Okay, great. Thank you, Ina. My name is Philip Andradas. I'm the VP of Human Resources here at Elite Residential Concierge Services. I have been with the company for 3 years, but been in the human resource field for over 20. The reason I can say why I came to Elite is because of its focus on developing employees over their career to grow them and hopefully position them for new careers in the industry that can leverage their skills and experience. And Elite has been in business for over 6 years. We are growing at approximately 35% a year. So there's many opportunities that are being presented to our internal employees to progress to higher levels. And I'm going to discuss some of that internal progression, the benefits of joining a company like Elite, and at the end of the day, talking about the partnership that we would like to have with you, which has been introduced to us by ACCESS Employment, which we are very grateful to partner with in the long term to help individuals, as Ina mentioned, that might be new to Canada and struggling to find a job. We are here to help you, and that's why we're doing this session for you, that you can find a home if you wish with Elite and stabilize, and then hopefully build a future with our company, or until you're ready to return back home, have the ability to earn income and have a lifestyle that you're happy with. I would like to introduce Tasneem Rangwala on my team. She's a recruitment specialist, and she and I will both be open to any questions that you might have at the end of the presentation. So please do share your comments, and questions, and we're more than happy to answer them most likely towards the end of the presentation, because I might be able to cover a lot of the questions that you might have as well. Before I begin, Tasneem, is there anything you'd like to add? Maybe a quick introduction on yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for having us here. And we're looking forward to help you and help the clients and candidates as well. Elite is a very niche company. We just deal in residential condominiums. And I have been in security for more than 6 years. I have been in human resource approximately 10 years. And I enjoy working with Philip. We have good sites where we can place candidates according to their strengths. That's all.
Great, thanks, Tasneem. So I'm just going to share my presentation. I just want to make sure everyone can see it as I start to share it. Great. So let's give it a couple of seconds. I'm assuming everyone can see our welcome to the info session.
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. Okay, great. So as you can see, Elite and Tasneem has highlighted is that Elite focuses on the niche market of high-rise residential condos security. So we, although there's many security companies out there, our focus is mainly in the residential high-rise condo market. And this is a market that continues to be resilient and grow in the GTA. So we continually are seeing a need for our services because of our specialization in this marketplace. And as you can see from the tagline, what we tend to target in terms of service levels is a luxury level of security and customer care. So you can see from one of the concierge that's opening a door, it's very professional. We're talking about a suit that you are wearing, whether it be a scarf or a tie that you choose to wear. It's a personal choice. Most of our guards get issued a tie, but it's a full professional role that you are providing a service in a more of a hospitality perspective versus just access control, which is what sometimes people think of when they think of traditional security. A large amount of this role is based on service. And so if you like connecting with residents that are living in the condo or individuals visiting those residents, this is an excellent opportunity for you to leverage those skills that you might have had back home, or it might be an area that you're very interested in exploring long-term and looking to improve your skills, whether they be in English or just in terms of service. And so these are things skills that are very transferable to other careers that you might try to pursue. Let's say you have an engineering degree, but your language skills are not very strong. You could come into a company like Elite. We could then grow your skill set in a specific language because it's a conversational role, at which point you can then apply to an engineering firm for a job to which your skills will be stronger on the language side and hopefully secure a job in that area. So that's our kind of niche market that we focus on. I'm going to go to the next slide and just to hopefully you can see that we have been in the market for many years. Our management team has over 50 years of experience in this niche market. Our goal is to provide a luxury concierge service, and we have over 125 condominiums that we currently support services to. Our business is a 24/7 business, so we have security all the time. And sometimes certain sites, depending on the complexity of the site, there might be 2 guards. So if you're fairly new to the security industry, our target would be to pair you up at a site with someone with more experience to grow and mentor you as an employee of the company. And then eventually you would be on your own. But the target of what we try to do is provide high-level customer service. And the targeted niche that we have is condos that are very much considered luxury condos. So we are targeting people that are fairly influential in the GTA, doctors, lawyers, professors, and their expectation of service is very high. So your image is very important to us. So this isn't a job where you can be on your cell phone, for example, or slacking by sitting in a chair and slouching over. It's really about greeting, very positive connections as residents come and go for the day. And that's that experience that we want to give them. It's very important that Elite as a culture looks at the company that we are in many communities, different diversity backgrounds, but we look at our reach as a family. And how do we meet the needs of these diverse segments that we support? So hopefully this gives you an idea of where we are going and why we are so successful, because we try to place candidates in communities that they feel comfortable with, as well as our clients are looking for in terms of a service expectation. So I keep going back to security service and client cares. We do security access control, but most condos, they either have a gate that you have to cross. So there's a person at the gatehouse that you have to come in. So there's first level security. And then within the condo itself, we have a concierge, as you can see in the picture, at a desk that might be giving parcels from Amazon or Walmart, or grocery pickup. There's a lot of Uber services that come these days. And so we're the first point of contact when someone comes into the building. And you can see that this can be a resident, or it can be a visitor, or someone doing service in someone's condo unit. We definitely always need to ensure that that person is welcomed in the building, and that the resident is fully aware that the person is coming to visit them and has the right access to deliver a certain parcel or service. And then we also have a dispatch team here in our corporate office, which is at Don Mills in Eglinton, so what they call Midtown Toronto. And we're continuously looking with our cameras at potential situations where someone might be trying to tailgate an individual in. We let the concierge know on site that, hey, we anticipate a trespasser going in this door, and then we'll have either dispatch field support, which is in a mobile role to that site for additional support if necessary, or the concierge on the site will deal with it themselves. So I'm moving to the next slide, and I touched on this point about our family matters to us, right? And so Elite has many different diverse backgrounds, and we want that to be a key part of our culture, that we are made up and we support many different cultures, and diversity and inclusion is very important to us. And so one of the reasons we reach out in doing job fairs like this is to ensure that we maintain who we are by hiring different individuals from different backgrounds. And so we consider these employees, when they join Elite, to be a member of the Elite family. And we do our best to grow and make sure that they're happy and facilitate the demands that any employee might face day in, day out in their life. And so we have to make sure that our employees are trained, that they know how to deliver this high level of service. We have to provide growth for our employees, a sense of connection, and empower them to deliver great service to our clients. So it's a two-way street. In order to give great service to a client, you also have to be treated in a certain way that you feel that you have the ability to be valued, be trusted, and you feel part of a bigger company, even though you're working in a condominium by yourself. So that sense of connection is something that we work on all the time. And then we, as a company, go as far as we can to help our employees out, in many ways, even on a personal level, where they might be struggling and need additional support. It could be through educational support, or it could be in other ways that allows us to work with them on a schedule that works with what they need to have in terms of support of their families at home. And then lastly, we like to reward and recognize our employees for great work that they do. And one of the ways we do that is that after 1 year of employment, if you have done a great job, you then have the opportunity to be nominated into our management development program. So after 1 year of service, you can join our management development program, and that would allow you to have additional points if you were applying for permanent residency here in Canada, because it gives you a supervisory classification, which gives you additional points through express entry, and hopefully allows you and your family to build a long-term future with the company. Moving to the next slide is why join our company and be part of our family. So we are, like I mentioned, we are growing aggressively at around 30 to 35% per year, which is fantastic to be in a company that is recognized for its service levels, and more communities would like to see Elite be a part of their day-to-day lives. What is a successful candidate? Well, first of all, you need to have a security license, and that isn't something that you can just apply for. You actually have to study. It takes approximately 32 hours of online training that Elite can provide to you if you choose to enroll in our online course. But there are many security training courses out there. We just have our own, which is an online version. So you can do it when you are free. After 32 hours, you also have to get certified in first aid CPR, at which point you are then eligible to write your exam with the Government of Ontario. It's a ministry test. Once you pass the test, you then have to apply for a digital license. And once you have that license, we can then employ you here at the company. You have to have excellent customer service skills. Again, if you're interested, I'm going to give you details on how to apply for a job here at Elite. But one of the key requirements is that you have to be able to communicate in English, and both writing and verbally, to be able to do this type of role. Because of our clientele is high-end concierge services, their expectation is that the individuals are able to communicate them and explain certain situations that might be happening in the condo, such as a fire alarm, to be able to make an announcement, or if there's a visitor, to properly introduce that visitor to the resident that they have a visitor. You have to be sociable by nature. Again, communication has to be positive. Again, there's an understanding that you're coming from a different country. You might not understand the social norms and how to greet people. These are things that we can train you, and things that we do train all our employees on. But it has to be, there has to be a certain natural presence that we look for when we look to hire a candidate. Again, when you're on duty, you are a representative of Elite. So there's a certain sense of responsibility that you need to take, because you are, at the end of the day, providing a security service to people in a condo. And so if you end up walking off site, for example, and there's no security service, then that is not really being responsible in your role. So very important that when you're there on the site, that you're doing the job that we're paying you to do. And that means you have to be vigilant and proactive in what you do. If you see something that's concerning, we have mechanisms that you can call for help, additional resources that can come to site and help you, or just answer any questions that you might have. Okay, in this role, because we do many different things outside of just looking at security cameras, there's also parcels being delivered, there's amenities being booked, there's complaints coming down to our service desk to say there's a noise complaint, or I might have a water leak and I need some assistance. And so you have to be able to do many different things at one time in the role. And then lastly, you need to look to exceed the client expectations in every interaction that you have. So that's what makes a successful candidate. And Tasneem would be the point of contact. If you're interested, once you apply, that would do an initial screening interview with you. She would then guide you in terms of next steps, if you can meet the mark for being hired, and if not, she can guide you in terms of next steps that you need to get in terms of the gap to be hired at Elite. And that's essentially what we look for in a candidate. We do have a We Train, We Hire program, and I want to kind of go through those steps with you. So many people might be concerned about the initial costs, which will run between about $350 to $400, depending on the institution that you do your training with. When we meet with you and we decide to hire you, you can then go forward and get the education and certification to become a security guard, knowing that you'll have a job once you obtain the certification to be a security guard. So first step is submit your resume to tasneem@elitecondo.ca. Or you can submit it through ENA or ACCESS platform. They are happy to share your resumes with us. Within a week, we will get back to you with the next step, which is you being selected for an initial interview, and you will proceed to a virtual interview with Tasneem, or if you prefer, you can come into our office and meet with Tasneem in person. If you are selected, and there is an area manager that will usually interview you as well, in addition to Tasneem, you will then receive a conditional offer of employment from Elite. So you know that once you get your security license, you'll have a job, which is more than what most companies will do out there, where you're going to be searching for a job. You kind of know if you don't make the cut, then it's probably not a good idea to potentially proceed in this field, because we'll guide you as to why we didn't select you. And if we don't select you, we can guide you to what you need to do to be selected, whether with us or with another employer. You then enroll in what it says 40 hours of security guard training. 32 hours is the online portion. 8 hours is your first aid CPR training. You can complete your course in 7 days and appear for an examination. You can only apply for the examination once you complete the online component and your first aid CPR. You must score 62%. It's a multiple choice exam. And we are very successful in our candidates going through our program. We do a lot of prep with them in advance of writing the exam. So we have a very high success rate in individuals that run through our program. And then the security license that you get from the government is a 2-year license that is not linked to Elite in any way. You can work at any security company, but you need a security license to work. And so those are those steps. And then once you get the security guard license, you then will come in, you'll do 2 days of training in our corporate office and 3 days on site for the condo that you were selected for. So in total, you'll have 5 days of training before you are on your own, or you are partnered with someone with more experience to then be a concierge. The good thing to remember, like I mentioned, the cost is around $350 to $400, depending on the institution that you choose to take your training with. But the training that you're going to receive once you get your security license, those 5 days of training, will adequately cover any of those costs. So you will initially incur some costs, but then afterwards you'll recover them after going through a week of training with Elite. So why come to Elite, given your current situation? Well, there's many reasons that people come to Elite. Number one, we're specifically in high-rise res condos. So you're working in condos that have, marble floors and, well-designed lobbies, and they're very, very high-end. So if you think of going to a 5-star hotel, very similar experience when you walk into a condo here in Toronto. So you're working in a very nice working environment, and we are across all locations in the GTA. So depending on where you live, we can offer you potential opportunities that are in the area that you live, and might save on, let's say, commuting. Some people might be currently commuting 2 hours to work right now. Well, hopefully we can cut that down by you joining Elite. We offer 2 types of roles. One is full-time, 40 to 44 hours a week, and one is part-time, 20 to 24. With all our employees full-time, you must work either a Saturday or a Sunday shift, which is a 12-hour shift. And the reason we do that is because we want our most experienced guards on working at the busiest time. And if you think about people living in condos, the busiest time is on the weekends when they're not working and they're at home with their families. So full-time requires you working either Tuesday to Saturday or Sunday to Thursday, or Friday to Monday also works. If you have a job somewhere else and you want to supplement your income with part-time work, again, our part-time shifts are Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday. So you can have another job and you can supplement your work by joining Elite. And so you can see which is what I was mentioning is the type of shifts that we have. We have 8-hour shifts, we have 12-hour shifts, we have morning shifts for more seasoned security professionals. If you're new to the industry, you tend to usually take a night shift until you learn the skills, and then you can move to an afternoon shift once you understand our procedures and policies here at Elite. So this is a great opportunity if you have a partner or kids and you need to drop them off to school. You could technically do an 11 p.m. to 7 p.m. 7 a.m. shift, and then you could drop your kids to school and then rest and then be there for when they come home. Or maybe 3 to 11 works for you in terms of scheduling between you and your partner. The goal here is we try to offer flexibility, and that's a huge bonus that most security companies do not provide, which is a differentiator for us in the market. Okay, so let's talk about your growth at Elite. Everybody who gets hired with Elite, they either start off as a concierge or a patrol guard, again, depending on your experience. And that tends to be a bit of a lower hourly rate, somewhere around $16.50, $16.25 with no experience. And then you can go as high as $22 for a concierge role. A site super role is anywhere between $18.50. It's the next level up where you're overseeing a group of concierge at a condo site. It starts, like I said, $18 and can go as high as $25. An area supervisor, which is the next level up from a site super. So you're overseeing a number of condos which have individual site supers and a concierge staff within each condo, and each area manager has approximately 15 condos that they oversee, and the salary for an area manager ranges around $55,000 a year to could be as high as $85,000 a year. A field support supervisor, this is again a step between a site super and an area manager. If we feel you don't have the skills, the management level skills for an area supervisor, you might get an interim role as a field support supervisor where you're in a mobile role going to any one of our 120 sites and trying to help a concierge or a site super deal with an urgent situation. And then again, I think we have area manager here. So I should have differentiated there. Area supervisor is someone that works in a region, specific region, 15 buildings. An area manager oversees an area supervisor, a site supervisor, or concierge. So that gives you an idea of your progression. Like I said, you can go from a concierge to an area supervisor usually within a year. Depending on your skill set and your ability to deliver in the position that you're in. The benefits at Elite. We talked about flexible work schedules. We talked about a competitive compensation program and the progression on hourly rates. And we have, and we're one of the only companies that offer a comprehensive benefits plan for medical, dental, life insurance, accidental death and dismemberment coverage, as well as an EAP program. Most of the security companies in the GTA do not offer a benefits plan, but again, as part of our commitment to our family that works for us, we want to make sure that they're taken care of, as are their families from a benefits perspective. I discussed our management development program. As part of that program, we do offer assistance on immigration. There's an option to go through an ONIP program if you're an international student. If not, there's also an option to further stay with the company through a foreign worker through the foreign worker stream program, which would be an LMIA program, which gives you, again, additional points in terms of immigration for permanent residency. When you work with Elite, you're working in different communities and building new relationships, and you're understanding and assimilating into the country, which is great. We are a strong believer of diversity and inclusion in who we hire. And again, it's great to be with a company that values that and promotes that. And then we give a rewards and recognition program. So that's a very high level discussion today about why you'd want to be with Elite, the benefits of joining Elite, and hopefully you have a fairly good understanding of what we do day in, day out, and your ability to progress with us long term. So I'll turn it over to Ina, and maybe we can start answering some questions if we want to open that up to the group.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So
Ina,
thanks.
please.
Okay, just 1 second. Mariana asked us one question.
Sorry, then let me interrupt, please. In this case, I just wanted to remind first that the Q&A session will be a little bit later in the end, and we would like to share with you that you can send us your resumes. I have just shared in the chat the link for the Survey Monkey, and I will share it now once again. And I would kindly ask Philippe to stop sharing.
Okay.
Thank you. And yes, so about the resumes, same as Philip has mentioned a little bit earlier, that we will be collecting resumes and we will share the recorded video with participants who couldn't get into the session today. And later we will screen the resumes, and Philip will screen the resumes with his team and get back to us or to the candidates who are selected. And we will go through about explaining how the process can go after the candidates being selected, right, Ina? Now the word to Ina.
Yes, that's right. As Olga previously mentioned, she put in our chat is a special link, survey link, which we kindly ask you to fill out after this session. And for those one who are interested in to apply for positions with Elite Concierge, there will be one question. Please attach your resume, so you will be able to do this. And we will have 1 week from this info session, so deadline. So I mean, your resumes have to be submitted till the end of the day of the next Wednesday. So the April 19th. So we kindly ask you to do this. And after, we will have 1 week when Philip and Tasnim, I apologize for incorrect pronunciation. They will be able to check all resumes, select those one they're really interested. Those resumes which look like to be a good fit for their needs. As I understand correctly, Philip, just please correct me if I'm wrong. So Tasnim will have, after pre-screening resume, we would like to have a short, not short, interview online or in your office with selected candidates, right?
Correct. So whichever is easier, we can do a virtual interview with you, or we can do an in-office interview. It really depends on the candidate, especially if your language skills are not very strong, and you want to have experience going through an interview process. So you might feel, hey, I might not be able to meet the requirements, but I'd like to go through an interview process. I'm open to you coming into our office or doing a virtual interview. We would run through an interview with you. And then you might not get selected if you don't meet the criteria I outlined. But again, our goal here is to partner with everyone on this call today to help them find employment opportunities, whether it be with Elite or another organization. So it is something that we are open to, whether virtually or in person.
Okay, and so it should be two different steps. First of all, people interested in this position, they have to send your request to us via Survey Monkey link, which my colleague Olga put in the chat. And after 1 week, we will transfer this resume to Philip, and his team will have also a few days, I think 5 business days or week, it depends. They will check your resumes and select some people. So this is like first step, and the next step, Tasnim will have interview online or in their office, right? Philip, okay, so I would like to clarify. And so very important question. And after that, for those who selected, interviewed, they have to start their security license, right?
Training, correct.
So from training, sorry, from this point, am I right?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. So, and I would like to clarify, because Philip sent me this information before, and he mentioned in his presentation. So now we're talking about receiving security license certificate. There are 3 steps. First of all, you have to apply for courses, right? So first step for course, CPR course and actual security license course, right, Philip?
Correct.
Okay, and as I understand you correctly, CPR course should be done firstly before applying for actual CL course.
Correct. So it's 40 hours, 32 hours of an online course if you're going with Elite, and there's an 8-hour first aid CPR. 4 hours is online. 4 hours is in person, where you get certified with first aid CPR, because we have to provide that service to residents if they ever need it. And so after 40 hours, we then give you a completion number, to which you use that completion number to go on the government website to register to write your exam.
Okay, and can we explain a little bit about cost of the security license?
Sure. So the online course that Elite offers is $100 plus HST. And like I said, that's 32 hours of online training, which gives you the technical language to pass the exam. With that 32 hours, you also get practice exams that we will give to you and provide you with to prepare you to write the exam with the ministry. And before you apply for the exam with the ministry, you must also have first aid CPR certificate, and that is an 8-hour course with Elite. It costs $65 plus HST for that course. So in total, $165 plus HST to be able to write your exam.
Okay, so this is the first step. You have to pass CPR, you have to pass CL course, and second step.
So second step to have that is you would then apply for a date to write your exam. They will provide you with an option. Usually it's in person at one of their centers where you go in and you write the exam on it's a computer multiple choice exam, but now they are trying to do it as well virtually. So there are these virtual examinations that they are also facilitating, but which one you get chosen to do, we don't have control over that. That's with the ministry.
Okay. As I previously, I would like just to clarify for our people. There are 3 steps for receive this security license. First of all, you have to apply for CPR and actual security license courses. Whenever they are done, second step, Elite will be able to generate a completion number that you will require to register for actual security license test. So this is second step. It costs $35 per HST. And the third, once you pass the test, you will have to apply for security license. Sorry, for this paper, this document, right? And the cost of which is $80, tax inclusive.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, correct. So I see someone's asked the question. So what's the total price? So it's $280 plus HST.
Yes, that's right. And okay. So and now we will ask my colleague Jamoya to if you are able if you are unable to cover the cost, please let us know. We will do our best to assist you with this process. And now my colleague Jamoya will explain the options for reimbursement of these funds and who may be eligible. Thank you, Jamoya.
No problem. Thank you so much, Ina. So I'll do a quick overview of what the process looks like or what it will look like. So we do have a program. It's called Employment Ontario through Employment Services through Employment Ontario. And what the program is to help individuals connect with sustainable employment, very similar to kind of the offers that were discussed here earlier as well. So finding something sustainable that can not just help you in the interim, but can also be something that is long-term, helps you with your family, your immigration status, etc. So a part of the program, we do have a funding that allows us to offer support on an as needed basis. And as needed is crucial in terms of you have to show that you are in need or you show that you show a need based on our assessment. So we put you through an assessment if we find that that's something that would benefit your job search or you getting a position at Elite, then we can kind of navigate through that. And that's just one option here at ACCES as well. One of the flip sides to that is you do have to be registered with ACCES, and you do have to be registered as a part of our employment services program in order to qualify for that training support. All right. Any questions about that? Okay, and I'm not seeing any questions. Okay.
Okay.
If I may join here for a moment. So in case some of our clients will need extra information or clarification. So in our team, we have here on this meeting, Alina Izun. So those of you who are in contact with her or you see her only first time today, that's not a problem. So she will be a main contact person in case you need more clarification. And if you don't mind, I guess we will switch in Ukrainian to give the same information so it's maybe clearer for our clients. Отже, шановні наші клієнти і учасники цієї зустрічі, Якщо у вас будуть виникати якісь уточнюючі запитання, Аліна Гізун, яка є тут разом з нами, Аліна залишить вам свій мейл у чаті. Вона буде основною контактною особою по цій можливості, яка є з компанією Elite Concierge. Якщо такі запитання є, будь ласка, звертайтеся до Аліни через імейл. І якщо у вас ще є якісь запитання, будь ласка, їх залишайте у чаті. Або якщо зручно, в принципі, можна і говорити, але говорити потрібно англійською.
Або ще інше, якщо, наприклад, у вас є якісь питання, які ви не в змозі поставити англійською мовою, пишіть їх, будь ласка, українською в чаті, ми будемо перекладати і запитувати Філіпа, і він буде відповідати.
Okay, so we have explained to our clients about the extra information on our side, right? And if there are still some questions, we can move on to the Q&A session, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we have here our event coordinator, Olga, and she will be able to moderate the questions that are left in the chat.
I think I will be able to moderate the questions. So, and we have the first question. What about language level, Philip?
For sure. So I briefly chatted in my presentation that because we are providing a service to a very niche market, which is a luxury market, there has to be some fluency in English and in both written and verbal English. So if you don't have that level of expertise and your skill level isn't there yet, then that is one of our selection criteria that you need to speak with some level of fluency. Depending on each individual, which is hard to judge until we meet you, there might be an ability to put you in a patrol guard role where you don't have to speak as much, but you still need to speak. So if you cannot speak the language, the English language, for sure, you would not be selected to move forward in the process. However, if your language is, let's say, a 6 out of 10, you might be selected to move forward as a patrol guard. Again, a great opportunity for you to work on your language skills while you're progressing within the company. To be a concierge, you probably have to have a rating around 7.5 out of 10 in terms of English and English skills, both written and verbal.
Okay, thank you, Philip. And hopefully, Natalia, we answered your question. Whenever you have some clarification, please write in the chat. So what's the total price? This question. So I hope we already answered this question. The total price is $320 roughly with HST.
Right. Just to clarify on that, that's if you go with Elite. If you go with another organization, their pricing might be higher or it might be lower. That's we try to keep it as low as possible. So it's a very competitive price, but people don't have to get their security license through Elite. They can go anywhere. Elite is one option of other options out there.
Thank you, Philip, for this clarification. And next question is, what are the minimum criteria to participate in this course?
So there is not a minimum criteria. You don't have to have a certain educational level. You just need to be able to absorb and understand the online course, because at the end of the day, you have to write an exam. And so if your language skills are not strong enough and you can't read and understand the language in the course, the chances of passing will be harder, right? So just keep that in mind, as that you have to understand the course, which will be in English. So that's probably the minimum criteria, that you can read and understand the English language to be able to then write the exam.
Okay, thank you again. So, and very good question. If I have my security and CPR certificate, I think this person just need to submit resume and indicate it, right? That he or she already has this, right?
Ina, that's correct. So if you already have your security license, you would just apply with your resume confirming that you have your license already, and then you'd fast track through the program, where it might take some individuals that say 2 weeks to get their license. You're kind of 2 weeks ahead of everyone else. So that's fantastic if you have it already.
Okay, so sounds good. And another similar question, what if I have CPR? As I understand correctly, CPR only, right?
Correct. So if
so
you
I-
already have a valid CPR certificate, they usually are valid for 2 years, then you don't have to take the CPR component of the requirements to write the exam. You would just have to take the online 32 hours of training to write the exam, and then you already have your CPR that you can put in your application when you're requesting an examination date.
Okay, thank you for this answer. Next question, is age important for your?
I'm going to say no. So we have employees that are in their 70s working with Elite. You have to understand that there is a physical component to this role. So if you're in the older demographic, as long as you're able to walk, climb stairs, deal with emergency situations, so you don't get confused when there's many things happening, you have a good sense of awareness, then it's totally fine to apply for this position. At Elite, we have very young employees too, students that start with us and grow their careers with us long term. So depending on where you are in the spectrum of age, apply if this job is of interest to you.
Okay, so sounds good. Next question, can someone already with a license and experience be eligible? I think yes.
Correct.
And also, can you please share the email ID to send resume again? So I would like to remind you that after this session, each of you guys, each of our participants will be able to receive SurveyMonkey link in your emails. And there will be just a few questions regarding this, your expectation about this session. And one of those questions which will be asked in this SurveyMonkey will be, please attach your resume for position you're interested in. So in that case, please attach your resume and indicate in your resume that you already have the security guard license and how many years of experience do you have. Hopefully, I will answer your question, Drew. Whenever you need more clarification, please write down another question. No problem. Okay, 1 second. I have to translate because this is okay, so this is question from, I think this question from Alena Varvarova. I think Alena asked us a question about our services in total. Because
Alena can send me her resume. You can send me your resume. Ви можете мені надіслати резюме. Я зараз свою пошту напишу в чат.
Okay, thank you, Alina. So Alena will write her email address in the chat below. So please check and send your request to Alina. Could you please clarify who can be reimbursed for the courses cost? Is Jamoya still here, or she is? Thank you, Jamoya.
I'm still in here, Ina.
Thank you.
Well, what was the question, sorry?
Could you please clarify who can be reimbursed for the courses cost?
This person would have to be a client of ACCESS Toronto under the Employment Ontario program.
Okay, so Anush, whenever you have some question, So please send to us and we will direct them to our colleagues. Okay, and okay, another question in my own, my native Ukrainian language. Where you have to send resume, please. Okay, I will switch to Ukrainian language. Apologize for those who are not speaking. Будь ласка, направте ваше резюме до Аліни Гізун, яка тут зараз є. Вона от щойно написала свою імейл-адресу agizun@accessemployment.ca. Будь ласка, направляйте туди. І це було запитання від Альони, так? Окей. So, no more questions. So
There is
everyone... Okay,
one
go
question indirect. It was not written in the chat total. It was to my direct. And then the question sounds like this. I'm already licensed guard with experience in Canada and Australia. Can I still apply with the company? So I guess we have answered similar question, but if you would like to repeat the answer.
Yes, for sure. Please apply through, as Ina requested, through the SurveyMonkey link, at which point you will then be, your resume will be shared with Elite, to which we would then reach out to you and schedule an interview for an opportunity to get to know you better.
I would like to explain to all our participants that we, through the SurveyMonkey, so ACCES will be the main point of collected all resumes. And as I previously mentioned, whenever you have license experience, please indicate all these features in your resume. So for Philip will be, whenever we will transfer for Philip and his team, for Tasnim and the other guys working with them, will be more easier to select people who will be best fit for their job. Okay, so Svetlana, I will explain again how this application process will look like. So following the question, you will receive a link where you can submit your resume for the position you're interested in. You have for this 1 week. I will switch to Ukrainian language again. Світлана, після цієї сесії до кінця дня ви отримаєте SurveyMonkey link. Відповідайте на ці запитання, прикріпляйте ваше резюме, і тоді і до всіх, хто хоче подаватися на ці посади, ви маєте тиждень до кінця наступної середи. Будь ласка, висилайте нам ваші резюме. And next day, my colleagues and I, we will review all submission and forward the list of resumes to Philip and his team for further evaluation. It should be, all your resumes, guys, should be sent to us till the end of the day, next Wednesday. This is April 19th. And after we will send all resumes to Philip, and he will start his stage of selection. Okay, so please ask more questions whenever you have some. Okay, so next question, just sent to us in our chat. What are requirements applying to patrol guard?
So for sure. So for a patrol guard, again, the criteria is not as high as a concierge, but you still have to have language skills in around the 6 out of 10 range. So you still have to be able to write and speak English, but it doesn't have to be at the same fluency as a concierge. A concierge would have to be around 7.5 out of 10. So it's about your fluency and your comfort with the language, which would be a deciding factor for selection to the next stage of the selection process. So hopefully that answers your question. You don't have to have a specific educational, like a degree or diploma. It's more the English language is an important criteria in selection.
Thank you, Philip. Next question. which cities these open vacancies are. So as I understand, across GTA, but can you, for example, a few of them?
For sure. So we have condos where you'd be working: Mississauga, Etobicoke, Toronto, North York, Scarborough, Markham, Richmond Hill, and Vaughan. So the GTA consists of all the suburbs and the city of Toronto. So depending on where you are settled right now, and if you want to work in the zone that the city that you are living in, you should apply, and we can have that discussion in terms of commuting and what works for you, what doesn't work for you.
So Svetlana, hopefully we will answer your question. Depends when you're leaving. In the stage of actual interview, you will be able to discuss this option, how to commute in comfort, and maybe there will be some condo building nearby your home or something like this. How long does it take for selection process? I will answer, it depends how many resumes we will receive. But I think maybe few weeks, and we will explain later in our communication via emails.
Right. So just to emphasize, we recognize people are looking for employment as soon as possible. If you already have a security license in your first aid CPR, you're very much further than others. For those individuals that need to go through the program, it's going to take you approximately 2 weeks to go through the whole program, write your exam, and then maybe another week to get your digital license to practice as a security guard, so maybe 3 weeks at that point. But as you're going through that process, you've already gone through the criteria for selection with Elite. So before you even enroll, we will give you a conditional offer of employment that says once you get your security license, we will then hire you. So there will be very limited amount of gap from the time you get your security license to when you start with Elite. However, if you already have your security license, we can progress you within the next 2 to 4 days. It's very fast.
Sounds good. Another question, how many times will be taking these courses? I think it should, I don't know, someone asks about time frame, roughly, I think. Just study process.
So it's 32 hours of online training with Elite. Some do this in classroom, but ours is online. After you finish the 32 hours, you then have to maybe do some practice exams, which will help you get ready to write the exam. And also we would enroll you. We have 2 courses every week in our office where we can certify you for first aid CPR if you wish to go with Elite. And again, all of that process takes approximately 40 hours of your time. 40 hours.
I would like to switch to my own language just to clarify this question. Наскільки я зрозуміла навчання, Світлана нас запитувала, ви маєте на увазі самі курси чи взагалі мається на увазі весь цей процес? Курси, потім як довго чекати для цього екзамену, як довго чекати на отримання вашої ліцензії. Якщо ви мали саме це на увазі, будь ласка, напишіть нам внизу, ми тоді постараємося approximately сказати. Sorry. So is the next question, is previous experience necessary or candidates with no previous experience will be considered provided they meet other criteria?
Yeah. So if you have no experience, continue to apply. We will look to engage you and grow your experience with Elite. So there isn't a minimum level of experience required to join our company.
Okay, thank you for answering. Next question. Is it easy to switch to different shifts and working hours depending on other studying and commitments.
Okay. What I'm going to say in terms of that question is that we give set shifts at Elite. So once you're assigned a set shift, it could be Tuesday to Saturday, or Friday to Monday, or Sunday to Thursday. But once you have a dedicated shift, you have to work that shift. You can't change every week your shift. So you get assigned a full-time role or a permanent part-time role. But once you agree to work those hours, you must work those hours. So we will try to give you a schedule that works with your school. But then once you've committed to those hours, you can't not just show up for work. You must come to work because we're a 24/7 business. And if you don't show up for work, that means the site doesn't have security coverage and it becomes a delivery issue for us as a company.
Okay, thank you, Philip, again. So, and now clarification from Svetlana. It was a previous question about study process. She's asking, the studying online or in the office? As I understand correctly, there are two courses, CPR, this is actual course which should be done in the office. And the other course, actual as security license course, you have to take online, right, Philip?
Correct. And just the CPR component is an 8-hour course. So that makes the difference between 32 and 40. 4 hours of that course is online and 4 hours is in the office.
Okay, thank you for answering. Do you guarantee 40 hours for full-time positions?
Correct. If we offer you a full-time position, then we guarantee you 40 hours of work.
Okay, so another question from Svetlana. How many times this course? Okay, so now I understand what she means. I think she is asking CPR, this is 1-day course, and this is security license course. How long it takes? This
It takes 32 hours. It's
Okay.
up to the candidate if they want to do the 32 hours in over 4 days. You could do the 32 hours over 2 days if you didn't want to sleep, right? It depends on how fast you want to progress. You might want to do it over 1 month if that's better for you. It really depends on the candidate. There's no restriction once you've enrolled into the program. If you want to do it while you're working at another job, you can. There's a lot of flexibility with the online option.
Okay, thank you. Another question, how long does it take for selection process? We try to do our best, as we previously mentioned, it's about 2 weeks. It depends on the actual amount of resumes, but we will try to do our best. Philip, if you can add something else, please add.
As Ina mentioned, that we request that you submit your resume within a week using the SurveyMonkey tool, after which those resumes will be shared with Elite. We will screen them usually within 2 days of receiving them. We have 5 recruiters that work with Elite, at which point we would then reach out to individuals that have been selected to move forward to the interview stage. If you're not selected, we will also get an email from Elite saying that you have not been selected to move forward to the next stage.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I can't understand. After obtaining a license, how much percentage can we expect to get a job? Oh, okay. As I understand correctly, Camila, please clarify, because we previously mentioned. So Elite Concierge HR team will be able to select some candidates first stage, and after they will have actual interview with you. And the third stage, you have to receive this license, and you will be hired, right, Philip?
Correct. So if you haven't been selected, we'll give you a conditional offer of employment. It's conditional on you getting your security license. Once you get your security license, we then will onboard and hire you.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I will check the answer. Okay. And Svetlana asked when this is okay. She's asking when is when about this study. Svetlana, whenever you will apply for this course, you feel free to pass them whenever you want. In the morning time, the whole day, at night time, it's totally up to you. This is online courses. You will open your after you pay for this, you will open your computer, register there, and you feel free to start your courses. Okay, I think another question. How many open vacancies you have right now?
Sure. Currently, we have 42 openings.
42. Oh, this is very
Right. So just to give you an idea, we have a large number of students that are graduating from school in April here in Toronto. So many of them are moving to a field of their study. So in the last 2 days, we had 18 people provide a resignation because they've coming to the end of their school program, most of which are part-time students because they were working part-time while they're waiting to complete their studies. So we recently in April, we usually tend to have a large number of people moving on. So that's why the numbers are very high right now, 42, but I've seen them as high by May will probably be in the range of around 60 openings, just because we have 120 sites. We have 900 employees. So it's all relative to the size of who we are as a company.
Okay, thank you. So my answer for my colleague Tariq, yes, I'm not sure. From some reason, I cannot answer your question. Yes, we will do this. Sorry. And what are the working hours for a part-time option?
For sure. So we have primarily 3 part-time roles at our buildings. One is a Friday, Saturday shift. One is a Saturday, Sunday shift, and one is a Sunday, Monday shift. So depending on your needs, you would then target a specific shift. Then there's afternoon shifts, which are 3 to 11 on a Friday, and then 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. on a Saturday. Or it could be Friday night, 11 p.m. to 11 a.m. And then Saturday, 11 p.m. to Sunday, 11 a.m. Or there's a Saturday, Sunday shift, which would be 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Or it would be Sunday, Monday, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then either 3 to 11 in the afternoon on Monday, or it could be a night shift like 11 p.m. to a 7 a.m. on Tuesday.
Okay, hopefully we answered this question. Okay.
Sorry, I had another question in direct. They're asking, I don't know how straight is this question, but I'll try to translate it properly. Are the ladies also entitled to do the night shifts? The female applicants?
For sure, of course. There's no reason why they wouldn't be entitled to. There are certain sites that require a different kind of physical presence. Let's say there's a lot of homeless people, or maybe it's in a district where there's a lot of nightclubs. So people are drinking a lot, so you want more of a physical presence. So those type of sites, the requirement will be for someone with more physical presence, but that doesn't mean a female doesn't have physical presence. But if a female, but just by the nature of her physiology is, let's say, 4'10", 100 pounds, that's not going to give the client the assurance of access control that they want. But then that same female can work a night shift, let's say in another neighborhood that doesn't have those risks factors. So it really depends on the individual and their comfort zone. A female who was trained in the army or as a police officer in another company or country might have that physical presence, even though she's smaller in physiology, and that would work for the client. It's really about the site and what's surrounding the site that we would then place that candidate. Your safety is extremely important to Elite, and we will not put you in a role that we feel might endanger your safety.
Okay, thank you. And there is another question. Probably we didn't cover it yet, about the cities, like which vacancies, which cities are available now.
No, we mentioned.
We
okay.
mentioned, okay, sorry, maybe once
We
again.
mentioned already. Yes, I think the same.
No problem.
Mississauga, Etobicoke, North York. Philip, just go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. So just starting from the west, we have openings in Mississauga, Etobicoke, North and South Etobicoke. We have openings in downtown Toronto, North York, Richmond Hill, Markham. Right now, we do not have any openings in Vaughan, and right now we do not have any openings in Scarborough. Although we do have sites in Scarborough and Vaughan, right now we don't have any openings. So for current openings, that's what we're targeting right now. But as you progress through getting your security license, which might take, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks, those openings will be different. So don't consider that what's open today, consider what's going to be open in 3 to 4 weeks from now.
Okay, thank you for answering this question. And we received a few questions in our chat. Is there any requirements on body height or weight?
Nope, there's no requirements for that.
Okay, and next question, I think this is for us. Will you share the recording after we finish the session? Olga?
Yes, we will share the recording, as I have mentioned earlier, but maybe people joined later, so I'll repeat myself again. We did record even the question and answer session. I will then edit all the recording and send it whenever we are ready to send it.
Okay, thank
Shortly.
you for explanation. What is the starting pay? I think this is asking about hourly rate for new recruits after getting the license.
So
I think it depends on the position.
it does. Each of our buildings has a site rate, but on average, if you have 0 experience, you're going to be starting at an hourly rate of between $16 and $16.50, which is close to minimum wage here in Canada. So, and let me correct that, here in Ontario, because we're Ontario provincially regulated, it'll be somewhere between 16 and 16.50. With experience, 6 months of experience, you're going to go somewhere between 16.50 and 17.50, depending on the site that you have been selected for. I've already discussed that after 1 year, if you are a strong candidate, you can then be selected for a site super role. So a supervisory role within 1 year if you're delivering really well in your job. And those hourly rates will range from $18.50 all the way up to $25.
Okay, thank you so much for this clarification. There another question I cannot see, just try to quick. No, I think we all answered all questions. So we are, oh, hold on, one more. Can part-time roles also aspire for career progression?
Correct. So our main roles are those of security, But there are office roles as well. We have HR, which is my team here, that we have a very large team of HR professionals, but then we also have a finance group. We're going to, as we grow, we're going to have marketing and sales. Right now, our office team is probably around 30 people, to give you an idea, out of 900 security professionals. So there is progression to higher levels, depending on your level of expertise and where you studied and what you were doing, maybe back home in a different country. And so if the security guard role does not appeal to you, we do post all our positions on Indeed, and you're more than welcomed to apply for those positions. If what you heard today is not of interest in terms of frontline service, there are office roles that are open to from time to time.
Okay, thank you. And another question, do you have 12-hour shift? 12 hour, right?
Yeah, so our Saturday and Sunday shifts will be 12-hour shifts. Otherwise, for the most part, it's 8-hour shifts.
Okay, like usual working hours.
Well, yeah, normally in Toronto or in the GTA, normal working hours are 9 to 5, but because of the service that we do 24/7, we have 3 major shifts that are 8 hours, 7 to 3, 3 to 11 p.m., and then 11 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Okay, so more questions. So we keep you busy today, Philip.
No problem. I'm enjoying the discussion.
Okay, so question, is your company offer benefits?
We do. So we have a comprehensive benefits offering to all full-time employees, not part-time employees. So you have to be a full-time employee to be eligible for benefits. And so we have dental, medical, life insurance, EAP program. So it's a very good benefits program. And we're one of the few, if not only, security company that offers benefits. And we're a non-union company with an exception of a few sites. Those individuals that are on a unionized site must fall under the collective agreement here in Canada, to which they have their own benefits plan as part of a collective agreement, but that offering is not as robust or as funded as well as Elite's own benefits plan.
Thank you for this clarification. I think you will be able to discuss with Elite Concierge team later. I wish you good luck for those one who asked this question. And I believe this is last question because we are almost run out of time. I'm not sure because this is like behavioral question for those one who already hired, but maybe Philip will be able to shed more light on this, I don't know. If an aggressively behaving person appears during the performance of official duties, how to act in such situation? If it is necessary to use physical violence against him, I think
Right.
you will be taught how to manage the situation.
We will. So at Elite, we are not to use any sort of physical force against an individual, even though you might be trained to do so back home. Also, our role isn't one of a tactical support, it is one of service. So if someone approaches you in an aggressive way, you can advise them that their behavior is unprofessional and that you can't help them unless they speak to you in a professional manner. You can also advise that person that I will now be have to leave this discussion, and at that time, if you feel that your life isn't threatened or is being threatened, you can secure yourself in one of our rooms and shut the door and lock the door and then call for help. So at no point are you supposed to get into a physical confrontation, and we train our guards about keeping sufficient distance from an individual so that you cannot put yourself in any harm's way. The goal of what we're supposed to do is if there is a person that's intoxicated or on drugs and you feel that they're creating a scene, then you just call the non-emergency line of the police, and the police will come and escort that person off the site. At no point are you supposed to physically touch that person.
Okay, well, thank you for clarification.
No problem.
I believe that all questions are done for today. So for other participants, I would like to run quickly through application process again. So the next steps following the information session, you will receive a link with SurveyMonkey questions where you can submit your resume for position you are interested in. And you have 1 week for this activity. Please, we sent you already open positions with Lead Concierge, so please tailor your resume correctly and send to us till the end of the next Wednesday, April 19th. And in the next day, April 20th, we will transfer all resumes to Philip and Tasnim, and for further evaluation. And if you are selected, you will be contacted, and after Tasnim and Philip will have an interview with you. It depends how you would like to provide this interview through online Zoom meeting, or will be able to come to their office. It's totally up to you. And the third step, whenever you will be luckily interviewed, you have to start your receiving your security guard license. And as we previously mentioned, whenever you need some support from us, so you have to contact, because Jamoya just explained, she had a short description for those who are eligible and how to receive. So Alina put her email, my colleague Alina. This is information for Ukrainian clients. They are interested in our services. Alina Hizun at accessemployment.ca. So this is her email. Whenever you have some questions, concerns, and you would like to ask more questions about other services, please send to her directly. And after the session, you will fill out SurveyMonkey form. For everyone, I just wish you good luck. Thank you so much for your participation. And this is done for today.
Yeah, and just in closing, I would like to thank Ina and the ACCESS team for hosting this event. We all recognize how challenging the transition must be for all of you coming to a new country or trying to find a new employment opportunity. I really want to commend everyone for choosing the choice that you made to come to Canada. Canada was built on immigrants who have added value and created the country that we are today. So I hope if your stay with us is for the long term, I hope it's a successful one. If it's for the short term and you're eventually going to go back home, I hope when you do go back home, it's a safe place for you and your family. And for the hardship that many of you have already experienced, we are sorry that that's happened, and we hope it'll end fairly soon. And Elite's here to help you in your transition wherever we can, as is ACCESS.
Thank you so much for this amazing words. Philip, you're right. Canada, this is beautiful country to live in. Okay, wish you a great day for everyone. And enjoy the weather.
Thank you.